Good morning, class. I wanted to come to you and walk you through this week's assignments because I know there's a lot going on this week. Not only do we have some assignments to complete, a unit test to complete, but your project is due this week as well for Unit 3. So it's going to feel like a lot is going on, but let me walk you through it so that I can help you see where I've kind of narrowed down some of the things that you have to do, okay? So this week we're starting at 3.7 and we're doing 3.7. We're doing 3.8, but notice that you're not completing the second task on 3.8, okay? On 3.9, you don't have to do the assignment in that lesson. Instead, I want you to click this website and review what strong verbs look like, but there's nothing for you to complete or submit other than just reviewing this website. On 3.10, there are some vocabulary words in this lesson. You're not completing the assignment within the lesson. Instead, you're going to click this link and take a vocabulary quiz after you study those words. Then, hopefully, you are wrapping up your collaborative project this week. I'm going to talk to you more in detail about that in just a minute. And then, when you've completed all of Unit 3, you're going to take the Unit 3 test. Here is a reading packet that you'll need to open up and print out to have with you as you answer the test, as well as your knowledge of everything we've completed in this unit, okay? So let's hop on over here to content and Unit 3, and let's scroll down to 3.7 and see what we've got going on this week, okay? So you may have heard of Maya Angelou. She's a very famous poet. She did pass away a few years ago, so she is a modern era poet. But we're going to read a poem by her called Alone. We're going to analyze what she is saying, and then we're going to read a very famous poem by her called Caged Bird. She wrote a story called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Some of you may have heard of that story, and this poem is kind of a follow-up or a pairing to that story, okay? You're going to analyze the poem. Remember, we've talked about whenever you read a poem, you read it 3 times. Once, you're just reading it through. Second, you're reading it for a deeper understanding of the literary elements. And then third, you're going to read it stanza by stanza, verse by verse, to try and figure out what the poet is trying to say. Make sure that you're finishing up organizing your interview data because we're going to start posting it to the discussion board and compiling it by the end of the week, okay? Moving into lesson 3.08, we're going to talk about the Birmingham church bombing from the 1960s, a tragic event that happened in our own state, and a ballad that was written about this incident. Again, it's called a ballad, but it may not be. Once you read the definition of a ballad, we'll see what you think about that. In this lesson, you are only completing task number 1, okay, which is checking your comprehension of the poem or the ballad. You are not completing task number 2, okay? You are only completing task number 1. Now, I want to talk to you about your project because this is where it can get kind of confusing because I've altered the instructions a little bit, okay? You're going to organize your interview data. You're going to post your questions and answers to the discussion board. Okay. Now remember, I've put you into groups. So you're focusing on what other members of your group are also posting to the discussion board. And you can use any of that information. Okay. If your group members haven't posted anything and you want to use what someone else has posted, I'm okay with that. But I would prefer you stick with your own group members if they have posted anything. That way we get a good cross section of people in the class, okay? But if they have not posted anything yet, because we're coming into the class in different places, then it's okay to use another classmate's data that's there. So you're going to post your questions and answers, and then you're going to look at what everyone else has written. Where are our Christmas traditions or holiday traditions or other traditions similar, and where are they not so similar? Where are there some uniquenesses or differences? So what you're going to do is you're going to compose 3 paragraphs for me, okay? Your introduction paragraph is going to talk about who you interviewed and what you hope to learn through all of that. A second paragraph is going to talk about all the similarities, differences, uniqueness of the traditions that you learned about in your interview, as well as reading from your classmates' interviews. And then a final paragraph with what did you learn through this project and even through this whole unit of study? What did you learn about cultures, different cultures, similarities, and differences? Now, the lesson tells you that you're going to write your paper as a group, but you're writing your own paper. Okay. The group component of this is the sharing and the compiling of data that we can all look at and use to write our paper. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions on that. 3.9, there's nothing inside this lesson for you to complete. Instead, you're going to click this link, go to this website, and review strong verbs. 3.10, there's nothing inside this lesson for you to complete as far as a Dropbox goes. You are going to study these vocabulary words, and then when you're finished studying the vocabulary words, you're going to click this link and take the quiz, okay? And then your Unit 3 test packet, which I've posted on the homepage, is here again for you. When you finish Unit 3, you're ready to take the Unit 3 test, okay? So that is everything that you guys have got to do for the week. And again, it's summarized here for you on the news page. I'll post this video there for you as well. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great week.